Hey everyone, this is Ellie Mae with Artesprix, and today we are going to create a sublimation design for these Artesprix polished coasters. There are 4 in a package. I'm going to go through the supplies and it's going to be pretty easy, and this is something that anybody could do. So first off, you are going to use copy paper, plain old copy paper, nothing fancy here. And if you don't like that design that you do on it, you can just set it aside. Don't throw it away because you might come back to it, and use another sheet of copy paper. We're going to be using the Artesprix heat tape. It is specialized heat tape to withstand the high heat that we will be using with the sublimation blanks. Then grab a ruler, a pencil. Pencil does not transfer to the blank design, so it is perfect for drawing a template, sketching out designs, or drawing to see where you want your design to be placed. Then you're going to want the Artesprix protective paper. This is siliconized paper that is going to protect the surface of your heat source. You do need a heat source that it can get to 400 degrees, and we will be pressing this for 60 seconds. I also have my Artesprix protective pad. I love this. I use it all the time in my studio. It is heat safe, so it's going to protect my surface. And then in today's video, I'm going to be using the Artesprix Sublimation Markers. So I have 3 different sets here in front. I have pulled 2 sets out and have them with the tip down for about 20 minutes before I start. If you haven't used those markers recently, if you used them yesterday, then they'll probably be pretty good to go after, say, about 5 minutes. But you want to make sure to have the tips down to get those the ink flowing. You do want to store your sublimation markers completely flat when they are being stored. I like to keep mine in the package, but I just have them in a cup. This is a paint puck that I use when I'm working with the Artesprix sublimation paints or inks, but it works well as a pen holder as well too. Grab a pair of scissors and we are ready to go. So for today, I'm going to be sharing just a sort of abstract design, and I'm going to grab my sheet of copy paper. First, I'm going to take these out of the package and then just grab one of them out of the package. I'll leave the rest in there. And I'm going to use 1 sheet of paper. And then I'm just going to draw out, if you're going to do all 4 of them, you can go ahead and draw out 4, trace around 4 of your circles. This gives you an idea of where your design is. But don't fret if you go outside of your pencil drawing. Your pencil does not transfer. So feel free to color outside of the lines when you are working with Artesprix products. Once we have that template, I'm going to grab my ruler. And for this design, it is going to be a completely random design. I'm going to use pencil first, so it's kind of in my head, it's an abstract faux stained glass design. And I'm just going to work on all 4 of these circles at the same time. It's going to give it a random pattern. And this is just simply to give me some guidelines on where I want to mark. Now, I don't want to start with my black marker, which would be kind of like your faux leading on a stained glass image, because I don't want that black to bleed into my other colors. So I'm just going to add a few more lines in here. Those top ones look pretty good. Completely, you can make a shape in it if you would like to, or completely random patterns as well. So get a couple more, make sure I have those. And we have our pattern. Let's see. We might break this up a little bit more. Just across this design. And maybe this. Sometimes I get too particular, but I want to give these quite a bit of color. So let's break it up a little bit. And you can always adjust, since it's simply pencil along the way, you can adjust as you go. You are not committed to anything at this moment. So we'll go ahead and set that aside. And then I'm simply, here's my black. I do have a fine tip and I have the chisel tip. It depends on what you want as far as your leading. We're going to use the ruler again after our colors are added. We can go in and add the dimension and the leading a faux leading to the images for this abstract. So you can call it an abstract design or a faux stained glass design, whatever you'd like. So I'm just going to pick, I have the pastel colors on the right hand side, and I have the bold chisel tip markers on the left hand side, and I'm just going to start coloring. Grab a scrap piece of paper, and then before you go to color on your design, kind of scribble with that marker, get the ink flowing, and then just start playing around, filling in the different areas and different shapes and seeing what you can create. Every design, it can be different. Just have some fun. So I started on the right side with the pastel colors and just continued to fill those in. You can get all kinds of different patterns with your brush strokes and with layering the colors on each other or overlapping. You can see here's the finishing of the bold colors. And then after the image is done, I would say let this dry longer than I did before you do your black, because you'll see there's a couple places on my finished coasters where my black kind of bled just a little bit. And that was because the paper was a little bit damp in those areas when I did the black lines. So just let it dry before you do your lines with your black marker. And on the edge of your ruler, just clean it off with a paper towel and some water afterwards. Same thing with your hands. It's all water soluble and cleans up very easily. So just finish this out, and then you are on to the next step. Now, once you have your designs all ready to go, I did 2 with the pastels and 2 with the bold colors. This is a great way to see the colors of your marker sets and to get an idea, because the colors are going to brighten up quite a bit when you do the heat pressing. These are not the final colors. So this is going to be very bold over here, but it'll give you an idea. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut them apart. Well, actually, I don't know that I need to do that. I'm going to leave them all together for this since it's all on the same, and I'm going to place these where with the white side down, that is your sublimation side, and I'm going to place it on top of my template circle and then use some heat tape to secure this very well. And just make sure that I'm not getting the heat tape into the other design. And secure that down to the copy paper, and then grab my other blanks and secure them as well. And then once you have that secured, you're going to grab your siliconized paper. This is heat safe. I am at the end of this roll. I'll grab another roll. This is just perfect. I'm going to place it on the bottom of my heat press, your heat source. You do want to make sure to protect your heat source from any of the off gases around the edges of this. So using the siliconized paper, cover your entire surface so both your bottom and your top platen are going to be protected. So I have one sheet down as my first layer. Then I can take this, I'm going to flip it over so the print is on top. It's going to be up next to the press. I'm going to grab another sheet here first. Grab this sheet, cut out a section. So I have this ready to go. I have my secured blanks, my print, and then a sheet that is going to go on top. So I'm going to set the blanks down with the sublimation print on top on my press. I'm going to place another sheet of protective paper over top of it, making sure the entire press is protected. And then I'm going to press this for 60 seconds, 400 degrees. Movie magic, will come back for the reveal. Once the 60 seconds is up, I'm going to carefully release my press and just kind of allow that to settle there for a second. It is going to be extremely hot, so be careful handling this. I'm going to grab it by the protective paper that was outside of my heat press, and I'm going to set it down on my protective pad, which is heat safe. Now I'm going to remove this here, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there is sublimation ink that came through onto this protective paper. You do not want to reuse this, or it could transfer to your press or to the next object. So I'm just going to set this aside. It's going to go in the trash. And then you can see that print is already very vibrant. If I lift this up carefully, there's ink on the bottom of that as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel this carefully away to see our really bright, vibrant designs. So there is one. So these two here are the pastels. And then these two are going to be the bold markers. Ooh, look at that. That's awesome. So you have an abstract or a faux stained glass, whatever you'd like to call it. And they are still extremely hot. Have fun with the markers. You can play around with different strokes, different methods of filling in your coloring. And you can see in these photos here, here's a close-up look at some of the texture and the strokes and the marker brush strokes and everything that you can see in these designs. So you can see that everything is different, a little bit of variance, and have fun, play with it, see what you can create. And we have some coasters to protect our surface when we enjoy our beverages. Make sure to check out the links below for all of the supplies that are included for this video, as well as additional inspiration on the Artesprix website and blog. Thanks for watching and have a great day.